Hey everyone, Tony George, Hump Day Update, Wednesday. We're talking MAC action. It's back tonight. Ball State at home taking on Kent State. We're going to talk about that game. Also going to have a little NBA rant after that. Just got to get something off my chest. We have a top play in the NBA tonight, but and we'll talk about that in a minute too. But let's get to this game. Don't forget, 6 free plays out on the Gridiron 6-pack went 4-2 last week. That'll be up later today, right here on this YouTube channel. All right. Ball State's at home tonight taking on Kent State. Kent State's had 4 road games this year, and they've lost each of them by 35 points or more. Granted, 3 of them were against really good Power 4 conference teams. I get that. They also had a loss that big to Toledo. Now, Toledo is the king in college football of being a double-digit favorite and losing outright over the past 5 years. Look up the numbers. It's scary. But nonetheless, I like Ball State laying the 3 tonight. Now, they're a good team. They upset Ohio, who's a lot of people picked. Ohio had a big dramatic win last night over Miami of Ohio there on television. I watched it. They had no skin in it at all, and I wanted to see them play a full game. I've watched bits and pieces of them this year. But nonetheless, Ball State had a win over them in here. The better football team. And as much as the transfer portal and nil money has ruined college football for what it used to be. You know, teams could go from last place one year to first place the next year. You know, Indiana was an example of that last year. Texas Tech's one of them this year. You get millions of dollars. You know, look what Oklahoma paid their quarterback, Mateer, to come in there and play. I mean, ridiculous. He's making more money than some NFL players, but that being said, it really doesn't affect the MAC all that much as it does the Power 4 conferences. So trying to handicap college football has evolved into something that's a little bit inconsistent at best, for lack of a better term. But one thing I know for sure after doing this 35 years, a bad defense does not travel well. And Kent State is giving up 36 points a game. That's right. Give me Ball State at home tonight. Went up from 2.5 to 3. I bet it now because you're going to get some late money coming in on that. Probably going to go down a hook here pretty soon. In the NBA tonight, we have a 6-unit top play. You know, I was writing up a game this morning after watching Golden State play last night. And then I get to reading rumors and reports that Steph Curry's sitting, Butler's out, Levine and DeRosa for Sacramento are iffy at best for load management. You're 8 games into the season. You know, the NBA's got a really, really big problem. You know, let alone the PR nightmare from all the, point shaving and, players taking dumps to make prop money on the side illegally or whatever that whole gambling scandal is. You got a PR problem. You also have a problem in the fact that your stars play one night, they don't play the next. It's 80-game schedule. You're making Steph Curry's making $50 million this year. Can't play back-to-back anymore. Bunch of bull crap. It's a bad product, and it's an extremely difficult sport to bet. Now, the game I picked tonight, I know who's playing and who isn't. That's a rarity in the NBA. Somebody goes, well, you're up on the year in the NBA, you should be putting out more picks. No, I'm up in the NBA because I'm not putting out more picks. Less is more, especially in the NBA when you don't know who the hell's playing. There's 5 players on the floor. 3 of them are sitting. You're screwed if you're on that team. And many times you don't find out till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Conventional handicapping in the NBA does not work anymore. I mean, and the NBA in general, first of all, Adam Silver was one of the biggest advocates of all the commissioners of all the pro leagues for legalized sports betting. Because he knew it was the only thing that was going to save the beast, and that was his core audience. 5 years ago, they were getting 300, 400,000 views on TNT. Even with the best panel show on television, with, Charles and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie, it still is to this day, even though somehow ESPN's going to ruin it. They haven't yet. But once they legalize gambling, they're getting over 2 million views were last year on TNT. That's because your core audience is gamblers. There's not that many diehard fans that sit up at 10:30 at night Eastern time to watch a game on TNT. But they will if they got action on it. Do something about this. This is ridiculous. Just these players sitting out of nowhere. It's just very difficult sport to wager. It's becoming almost impossible, which is why I'm only putting out 2 or 3 plays a week. And that little comment I had on a DM on Twitter just rubbed me the wrong way. Why didn't you put out more picks? I bought your package. You're winning. We're up. You got to pick and choose your spots wisely in the NBA. FYI. 6-unit top play tonight. Let's do it. First top pick of the season in the NBA. We have a 3-unit college basketball hidden gem best bet, second pick of the season. We have a 4-unit, which is rare. Been doing a ton of 3 units with 3 of them in a row in the NHL. Now we got a 4-unit tonight. We're going to go ahead and pick that up. We swept in the NBA prop market last night. I'm passing in props today. We'll be back with a combo card in the NFL and NBA. I've already seen some futures in the NBAs on the prop. There's one I like. So we'll mix that in with an NFL card on Thursday. Doc Sports, free $60. Link in the description below. If you've never been a member, there's a tab on the website that says free 60. We'll park it in any new member account. Comes with a profit guarantee and no hassles. Get over to Docs. We're number 1 for a reason. Check it out.